Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kennedy and today I'm going to be doing what I read in 2024 and then my TBR for 2025. I'm so excited for this video. These are my favorite videos to watch in the new year. This one is a little bit late. It's not right at New Year's, but it's still January, so it counts. So I have my books that I read this year, my TBR pile, and my hydration in my oversized wine glass. So let's get into it. I want to start this off by saying I have been in the worst book slump I've ever been in my life. This is the year that I read the least amount of books I've ever read. I just did not get into any books and I blame myself. I went through a little bit of a funk personally, so mentally the reading took a toll. But in 2025, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to have such a good reading year. I can feel it. I can really feel it. I'm going to have such a good reading year. The first book of the year, I started it right on January 1st, and I started the Windy City series. I started Mile High. I don't have the physical copy of that book, but I loved that book. This is the second book in the Windy City series, but I loved Mile High so much. I rated it. I have my rating below. I rated that one a 4 stars. I really loved that one. The male main character didn't feel like he had a super ton of depth, but I just loved the storyline. I thought that it was so cute. I don't truthfully remember too much of it, but I loved how much the girl loved being around animals. The animal shelter scenes, I loved those. One thing about me is I think I can save the world, and anytime I see a cat or anything, I'm like, I have to adopt it. This cat has to come home with me. And that's how she felt about dogs, so I feel like I could relate to her pretty well. But other than that, I don't remember it too much, but I rated it a 4 stars when I read it on my Fable. The second book of the year that I read was The Right Move, and I bought the physical copy of that one. I still want the physical copy of Mile High because I really did love that one and I want the whole series to this, but I started The Right Move. I loved this one. I rated this one a 5 stars, and Barnes & Noble sent me 2 copies of it, so I gave one to one of my close friends that loves reading. I have no idea if she ended up reading it or not, but I rated it 5 stars. Loved this book. I felt like Indy was so easily relatable. She was such a girl's girl, such a girly girl. I loved her character so freaking much. Indy is probably my favorite female main character out of every single book I've ever read. I loved her so much. And Ryan, remembering all the little things about her, I felt like it was perfect. I loved this book. The acts of service from Ryan. It was so cute. So freaking cute. Anyway, I highly recommend this one. And then, this is where I messed up. I went in loving Indy so much. I loved Ryan so much, and I loved the first book so much. Can't remember the characters' names. That's on me. I love those books so much, so I thought I'm just going to jump into the third book, not knowing that there was a little bit of a disconnect between those books, in my opinion. The characters that you meet in the third book aren't in the first and second, but I loved Indy so much. I loved Ryan so much. I loved their relationship. So them not really being in the third book kind of threw me off, and then I didn't love the female main character that much. And I got a little over halfway, and this is going to be a hot take. I need you to know, don't attack me for this. I soft DNF'd it. I'm going to go back to it and restart it completely with a different mindset, but I didn't love the female main character. I liked the guy, but for some reason I was not feeling the female main character. I don't remember her name. I'm so bad with book character names, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling her. I'm going to give it another shot. Please don't attack me. I know that is everyone's favorite book, and I really want to read Play Along. I loved Isaiah and I loved Kennedy, so I really want to read that, but I have to. I know I have to get through the third book, and I will. I promise you, I will. Just give me some time. I'll go back into it, different mindset. I'm confident I will do it, I promise. But Caught Up did get soft DNF'd by me. And then that is where a little bit of my book slump happened. I didn't love that book, kind of threw me out of the book world temporarily. So, let's see. Eventually at some point, I went back to reading and I read Picking Daisies on a Sunday. I don't have the physical copy of that one because I'm forcing my sister to read it. But I rated that one a 3.5 stars. Truthfully, I loved the book. I really did, so I would even move it up to a 4 star maybe. But it was this book is so like poetic and tailor-coded, and it was so freaking cute. It was adorable. It was just like, if you want a good filler book, like maybe you're reading a lot of fantasy, maybe you're reading like really heavy mentally tolling books, Picking Daisies on a Sunday is such a good in-between book. For me, I used it for my slump. It was a quick read, easy read. It was adorable, so I loved it for that reason. Kind of brought me back into reading, and truthfully, the writing style put me right into the world. I loved it. I loved it. It was so Taylor-coded. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you have to read this book. The cover is adorable. I wish that I could show you it. It's literally pink, has a little picnic table and like flowers on it. It's so cute, and like I just love a book ending when everything comes together and then you can go back and be like, oh my gosh, that's what that meant. Oh my gosh. And this book just did it for me. It really did it. I loved it. It was so good. I highly recommend that book to anyone that wants a good in-between filler or trying to get back into reading, or you want to start reading. That book is so good to start with. It is a young adult, and truthfully I don't tend to go for young adult because it feels kind of for younger audience. Writing style wise, it feels like it's for a younger audience, but this one, I loved it and I'm so glad I read it, and I highly recommend it. Okay, the next book that I read was Summer of Broken Rules. Obviously I read this one prepping myself for summer, and I feel like it worked so well. I don't remember too much of this book. I rated it 3 stars, which is still pretty good for my ratings. Felt like it was a little predictable, and it is YA, and again, it kind of just felt YA, but I would recommend this to someone that enjoys YA or is just a younger audience. This book was about a wedding, a destination wedding, and I remember there's like a boy that isn't a part of the family, but he becomes close friends with the girl main character, and they just bond really well. It kind of gives off the same YA vibes as like Picking Daisies on a Sunday, so if you want like a filler book, it is a little bit longer, but longer than Picking Daisies on a Sunday, but I still recommend it. I remember it being pretty good. It's so cute, and I will definitely read more by this author. And then the next book I read, I have the biggest anticipation of the year for me, which was Flawless by Elsie Silver. I absolutely loved this book. I rated it a 4 stars, but I think about it pretty often, so it may even move up to 5 stars for me. This book was just so cute. I'm so excited to continue this. I got the whole series for Christmas, so I'm so excited. This was just such a good book. It gave the perfect masculine cowboy, but then still like hardworking woman, and I love that vibe together. So nice. I loved this. Very good. So excited to read this whole series. Next, we're starting to get into my Christmas books. I know we're already to the winter Christmas books, but unfortunately my book slump lasted so freaking long. But I will make it up in 2025, I promise you. But I have the Christmas Fix. This one was really cute. I rated this one 3.5. The male main character made me so mad for a while, though. I will say I wanted to hit him with this book. He was just really rude for a while, and like I get that he has his reasonings and like he's hiding himself. I don't know. He had his reasonings for being mean, but it got to be a bit too much. But I'm glad that I continued it. I did end up loving it. It felt like a good like Hallmark rom-com kind of book, which then brings me into In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. Again, this one was cute. It was predictable, but it was also just cute. This one is about a girl. I'm also not even sharing like the summaries to every single book, but for this one you're getting one. This one was about a girl and her family who have very close like family friends, and every Christmas they go see each other. And this one, she asks the universe for help redirecting her in her life, and it throws her into a Groundhog's Day kind of scenario. While the Groundhog Day is happening, it's like killing her off in a really like weird but entertaining way. I don't know, I was really entertained with how they came up with ways to kill her off. It was kind of funny. But I ended up rating In a Holidays 3 stars, by the way. Next, I have my 2025 TBR list. I've been writing it down, but I have some physical copies right here that I will go through. These will not be in any specific order of how I'm going to read them. I know right now I'm going to start the rest of the Chestnut Spring series because I'm so excited and I cannot physically wait any longer. She looks a little stained. She looks stained on camera, but not in person. It's my Lexi Hill doggo. Look how cute. I love this thing. Anyway, I want to read. Everyone has already read this book. I'm so well aware of that. Everyone has already read this book, but I want to read Song of Achilles. I'm so excited for this. I have such a weird issue. I don't read books without reading the last chapter. I didn't. I don't do that anymore. It's been a while since I've done that. So I think I can finally read this one. I could only read books with happy endings. I needed them happy. They could not be sad. I could not do it. But I think I'm finally maturing. So I will be reading Song of Achilles, and I'm not going to read the last chapter, I promise you. Pinky promise I'm not going to read the last chapter. I don't do that anymore, I promise. But Song of Achilles will be on my read list this year. I'm so excited for it. I promise. The next book I want to read is How to Build the Life You Want. I love this cover. The cover really drew me to it. I need to read more nonfiction. Overall, for 2025, I need to read more nonfiction. So this book is going to be my first one. While I'm talking about nonfiction books, I'll just go over all the nonfiction ones that I have on my list that I don't physically have. I want to read Everything I Know About Love. I've heard such good things about this one. Some of my favorite booktubers have been talking about that book, so I really want to read that book. Okay, I was talking as if I had like a ton of nonfictions on this list, but that is the only one that I have. So I want to read Build the Life You Want, Everything I Know About Love, and then if you have any nonfiction books that you would recommend, please let me know, because I really need to get into some of those. I know everyone has already read this book. Everyone and their moms have read the second book already, and I haven't even read the first, but that's because I'm slowly starting fantasy book. I typically only read romance books, but in 2025, I'm expanding my palette. Nonfiction and fantasy are on that extensions. I want to read Fourth Wing. I hesitated for a while to buy this purely because I don't like hardcovers. Hot take, I don't like hardcovers, but finally the softcover came out and it has sprayed edges, so I'm so excited for this one. I know the third one is coming out sometime this month, so my goal is to read this one and the second one so I can get to the third one. But I'm very excited for this one. Everyone loves this book. I'm so excited for this book. This will be the book to start off my fantasy era. I swear by that, this one. And I won't read the last chapter either. I promise. Next one. I don't know what this series is called, but this book was gifted to me. I want to read this one. And I have the second book, I just didn't grab it, but I'm wanting to read Love Reassigned and then Love... I can't remember the other one. But this book, I'm pretty sure the third is coming out soon. I think the third is coming out soon. I love Lauren Asher. I loved her Dirty Air series, so I'm very excited for this one. So this is definitely going to be read in 2025. Another one that everyone already read last summer, but I was in my slump, and by the time summer was over, I was out of my slump, and I have to wait till summer or spring to read this, but that is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited to get into this author. I'm so sad that I was in a slump right when this author started getting like really talked about on BookTube, because I feel like I've missed the big wave, but that's not stopping me. This book is going to be my prime in 2025. I can feel it. I'm so excited for this book. I've heard so many good things about this. This one is going to be one of my first reads of this year after the Chestnut Spring series. Definitely, I'm so excited for this. And I'm pretty sure the rest of my physical stack is Elsie Silver, but that's okay. Okay, obviously I've been talking about it. I want to read the rest of the Chestnut Spring series. I'm so excited for this series. These books are so cute altogether. I love these colors, but I'm so excited for the series. I've heard so many booktubers say that this is a 5-star series for them, so I just know that it's going to be a 5-star series for me. If you've already read them, don't spoil them, because I obviously have an issue with spoiling books for myself, but if you loved the series, please let me know. If you didn't, please let me know why. I want to hear everyone's opinions on these because I'm so excited. And then next I have Wild Love and Wild Eyes, and then I believe the third book to this one also just either recently released or is about to release, but also excited for these. I did actually kind of start a little bit of this one already, but I couldn't help myself. That's okay. But these are definitely going to be read. I'm excited for these. I'm so excited for Elsie Silver stuff. I've read one and a half books from her, and I already love her so much. I think she's the cutest thing ever. Like, anytime I see any like pop-ups with her, she's always so adorable, and her books are so good, so I'm obsessed with Elsie Silver there. There, I said it, I'm so obsessed with her. And then the next, of course, more Elsie Silver. I have A Photo Finish and Off to the Races. Everyone is loving the series, so I'm excited for this series. This is the Gold Rush Ranch series, I believe, as of what it says right there. But so excited for these. I'm going to read my plan in my head. I'm going to read the Chestnut Spring series. I'm going to read these two. I'm going to go into this series. So I'm very excited. And then the rest of the books on my list, I don't have physical copies of them yet, but I actually do have this one. I have Harry Potter. but all of my Harry Potter books are currently holding up, something that I don't want to pull out, but I have the hardback. They were a gift to me. Personally, I would not go to a bookstore and buy these. I would either buy them secondhand or I got them gifted to me from one of my guy friends had the whole series that he just had since he was a kid and he never read them, so he gave them to me. So I'm very excited to read those. I love, 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 love the movies. I'm so excited for the series. I love the movies. I'm so excited to read these. These ones are probably going to be closer to fall, winter time read. Just in case you're wondering, I am a Slytherin according to the Harry Potter app, but I feel like I'm a Gryffindor. But every single quiz I take, it tells me I'm a Slytherin, so take that what you want. That's not the saying. It's fine. Okay, for my second fantasy series, I want to read ACOTAR, and that is mostly because I've been putting off reading ACOTAR, mostly because I feel like Sarah J. Maas has kind of a bit controversy to her, and I've just been a little iffy, but I'm going to do it. Probably be another series that I get thrifted or secondhand. But regardless, I want to read that series. Everyone loves it. I need to give Sarah J. Maas a try, reading-wise. And then I wrote Emily Henry books. I love Emily Henry's writing, but I've taken such a long break from reading that I have not caught up on any of her new books, but I really want to read Funny Story. That one is definitely going to be a top read for me, or a top TBR read for this year. I'll keep looking down because I'm looking at my list. And then I want to read, this one is going to be a hot take, but I'm going to preface this by saying I grew up on Wattpad. I read the vampire stories, I read the werewolf stories, I read the One Direction stories, I read the Five Seasons of Summer stories, I read them all, okay? So because I've already read it all, I want to read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Listen, I've been a werewolf girl since birth, so I'm very excited for this one, so I will be reading it, and I'm very excited for it. So I know a lot of people did not like that book. I know it traumatized a few people, but nothing I haven't read before, so. Next read that I am wanting is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I know everyone loves this author, and I haven't read a single book by her, so I think I'm going to start with The Nightingale due to what I've heard from other people's reviews of 2024. So if you have any other recommendations, I don't know if that's a good one to start with her, please let me know. But I want to read that book definitely, and just overall get into Kristen Hanna because everyone loves her. And then I only have a few more on here, but I've recently started watching Bridgerton. I know I'm late to this party too. There's a lot of parties I'm late to, and I didn't know that the Bridgerton series was a book series, so I want to read Bridgerton really badly. And then the last thing that I wrote on my TBR list is Frederick Bachman. Everyone has been talking about him. By everyone, I mean Sarah and Des, if you are on BookTube. And both of them love Frederick Bachman. So that means I have to read Frederick Bachman, if you understand. So, I don't know what to start with him, but I just wrote down his name, so he is going to be read in 2025. Yep, as of now, that is my 2025 TBR. I'm hoping to read way more books than I did last year. When I tell you, I usually read like at minimum, I usually read triple the amount that I read this last year, but this last year was just not my reading year, not my year at all. I'm excited to read these, and I'm excited to read more, so much more than I usually do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was entertaining and gave you some ideas on what you should read in 2025. Let me know what you're reading in 2025. Recommend Frederick Bachman books, Emily Henry books. Just tell me everything. I want to hear everything. Also, hydrate today. Drink water today. Why haven't you done that already? Come on. Anyway, see you later.